Hello students, myself is Parminder Singh from Prab Kripa classes. Our today's topic is career counseling, your partner in education planning and bridging skill gaps. We have already learnt that career counseling is a systematic process. When we take the decision with regard to our career, it is not a simple decision, it is a very difficult task. We often take decision with regard to our career on the basis of incomplete information or on the basis of what our parents say, or we take the decision under societal pressure. We, while taking the decision with regard to our career, if we do not agree with our parents, the parents may ask us, what do you want to become in your life? What is your career goal? We do not have any answer. So the career counselors play an important role. If we are uncertain about our career goals, or if we want to change our career, or if we are unable to get a job after having been laid off, or if we are not getting career progression. In this course, the students will understand that the career counselor plays an important role in educational planning. The career counselor guides us which type of education may be required if we want to achieve our career goal. They will also tell us about the various colleges or universities which may be providing the relevant education skills. They will also guide us from where we can get the experience with regard to our career goals. The career counselor will also tell us that apart from traditional colleges, there are vocational schools which may help us in acquiring new skills. The career counselors will also guide us that education has its own cost. If we study in, say, private college, the cost may be on the higher side. If we study in government institution, the cost is likely to be less. The students will also understand that before deciding the course which we want to study, or before deciding the institution from where we want to study, we should understand the financial implications. That is what is likely to be the expenses which we will have to incur in respect of the tuition fees, admission fees, cost of books. The students, by going through this course, the students will also learn that we should understand the return on investment in the case of education. It means that we should understand what likely to be the return, that is what is likely to be the salary or the amount of money which we may get if we land into the desired career goal. That is, if we want to say become an officer in a banking institution, what will be the salary package in future? If we want to become marketing manager, what will be the pay? If we want to become, say, engineer, what will be the likely salary? And what is the present investment which we are thinking to make to become an engineer or a pilot? What is the likely cost which will be incurring to achieve our career goal? And what will be the return on investment? The career cons. This, by going through this course, we will also help to understand that we should not think that we have all the skills. There may be certain areas where we need improvement. The career counselors, by way of self-assessment tests, skill assessment tests, interviews, discussions, and questionnaires, they will identify the skill gaps, and they will also provide us tailor-made recommendations so that we can acquire the relevant skills and improve our skills so that we can achieve our career goal. They make these recommendations keeping in view the time constraints, our present skill set, and the budget which we can afford. By going through this course, we will understand that the career counselor also lays emphasis on one important aspect of life, and that is lifelong learning. In this competitive world, we should not be complacent, or we should not become worryless to think that we have achieved a particular position in life and now we need not worry. We should not study further. We should not acquire new skills. We should not study. We should not have knowledge about the new devices which are coming into the relevant field. Lifelong learning is a process that we should continuously improve our skills, and we should have the knowledge about the technology which is affecting our field. And by having our proper mindset with regard to the learning in future as well, only then we can succeed in our life, and only then our job can give satisfaction to us. If we are not changing with time, not acquiring new skills, not acquiring the necessary skill to operate various technological devices which may be necessary for us to do as a part of our job, then it may be quite possible that we may be facing a lot of problems in our job. And if we are doing our own business, even then it is quite possible that our business may continue to incur losses, and we may have to shut our business. So in the nutshell, the career counselors play an important role in our life with regard to self-assessment, career exploration, goal setting, education planning, and bridging the skill gaps so that we can acquire the necessary skills and achieve our career goal in life. Now, the topic before us is career counseling guiding your education planning for the future. It is very difficult for anyone to take a decision with regard to his career. That is, whether he would want to do a job or would want to start his own business or to do family business when he becomes young. There are a lot of factors which affect our decision with regard to our career. Our parents have their own expectations. They may tell us that we should join army, or they may say we should become engineer or pilot. They also give us the examples of relatives, neighbors, etc. We also think what our friends are doing. We would also like to join that field in which our friends are going. While deciding our education, we may also think that which university is nearby our house and what are those courses in which it is easy for us to get admission. So, in many cases, we as students take decision with regard to our career or education on the basis of inadequate knowledge or societal pressure. When we do not agree with the profession or the career chosen by our parents, the parents may ask us, then tell us what do you want to become in your life, whether you will do your own business, do some job, or what career you have chosen for yourself. We have no answer for that. Here the role of career counselor comes. Career counselors play an important role so far as our decision with regard to our career is concerned. The career counselor may guide us in choosing the career which is best for us. Career counseling is a systematic process in which the career counselor helps us to identify our own self. That is, they will help us in identifying our own skills, abilities, values, strengths, and even weaknesses. It happens that we know more about others. That is, we know that what strengths other person is having, what are his weaknesses, but we are not self-aware. We are not aware of ourselves. We do not know what are our skills, what are our personal values, what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses. So here the career counselor plays an important role, and they make us aware of our skills, abilities, strengths and weaknesses. They also help us in exploring various careers so that we can take an informed decision with regard to our career goals. Informed decision means to take the decision on the basis of relevant factors. It is not that we take the decision haphazardly. We take the decision appropriately after taking into account all relevant factors which may affect our achieving the relevant career goal or education goal. It may also, the question may also arise whether it is easy for us to find a career counselor. in our real life? Yes, you can find the career counselor in your real life. You can ask your friends, your relatives, or your knowns who have availed the services of career counselor in their lives. You can do online searching, because every one of you is most of us are always busy on internet, using the internet day and night. So it is not a problem for you to find the career counselor which is available nearby you. You can also talk to some professionals, or you can have some sitting with the career counselors, and while discussing with the career counselor, you can come to know whether the career counselor will be in a position to provide you the best guidance in respect of your career. The reviews of the clients, that is the students, with regard to the career counselor may also be taken into consideration. You can also go to your school or colleges or university. They may be having career counseling section, or they may be having some list of career counselor. So now we come to the main question, education planning. We have already learned that there are some key components of career planning. First is self-assessment, then comes career exploration, goal setting, education planning, decision making, resume preparation, and interview preparation, etc. So education planning is one of the main components of career counseling. Why? Because education planning helps us, or the students, or the individuals, to take informed decisions with regard to the education and training in order to achieve their career goals. Then what is the meaning of education planning? Education planning is involves identifying educational requirements of the desired career. That is, if we have chosen a particular career, then what are the requirements of that career? Next, education planning also involves evaluating the client's current skills and educational background. That is, what are your current skills? What is your education level at present? What is your career counseling also involves knowing about your family background, about your income status. We will learn each and every component of career plans counseling in detail. Career counseling also involves developing an educational plan. The educational plan is designed by the career counselor, keeping in view yourself. That is, it is tailor made. It is not that one education plan fits or applies to all the individuals. It is designed or developed by the career counselor by sitting with you. He consults with you, and on the basis of consultation, interviews, assessment tests, and various other tools, the career counselor devises the educational plan which is tailor made on the basis of your skills and your present education level, and what are your career goals. Keeping in view all these factors, education plan is designed so that you are in a position to achieve the career goal in future which you want to achieve. So now the education planning involves advising on educational requirements for chosen careers. Next, discussing college vocational training or certification options and financial implications. We will discuss each of these points one by one. First is advising on educational requirements for chosen careers. Career counselors advise the client what education is needed for the chosen careers. It means that the career counselor will discuss with you what you want to become, and on the basis of that he will advise you what education is desirable on your part if you want to achieve the career goal. So while advising you, they will discuss with you the specific degree or training required, as well as any special certifications or licenses that may be required. We will try to understand this, what we have said, with the help of an example. Suppose a person wants to become a nurse in his life. So the career counselor will explain that they must have a nursing degree or diploma. This is the educational requirement for becoming a nurse. So the career counselor will inform you that the educational requirement for becoming a nurse is that you must possess a nursing degree or diploma, and you must also get license from the appropriate authority. Career counselor can help not only students but also the recent graduates and working adults in education planning. That is, it may be possible that you are working adult, that is, you are doing some job, but you are not satisfied with your job. So the career counselor may also help you in education planning. It may be also possible that you have been laid off from the service, that is, you are doing job and due to certain circumstances you have been forced to leave the job. So in that case, the career counselor may also help you. We will try to understand this with the help of examples. Suppose if a student wants to become a doctor, then the career counselor will advise you that as we are residing in India, so we will be explaining this example in the Indian perspective. That is, if you want to become a doctor in India, then the career counselor may advise you that in 10 plus 1 and 10 plus 2 classes up, you may have to study physics, chemistry, and biology. That is, these subjects will have to be taken by you at plus 1 and plus 2 level. And after securing good marks, then you will have to appear for entrance exam, medical entrance exam. And after passing the medical entrance exam, which may be NEET or any other, and after securing good marks, you will get admission in MBBS. That is, for becoming a doctor, you will have to get the degree of MBBS, or if you want to become a dental doctor, then you will have to obtain the degree of BDS, and so on. And if you want to become a surgeon, then again you will have to study more and acquire post graduation degree, that is MS. In the same way, if a student is interested in a career in marketing, then the career counselor may advise you that you should acquire the degree of BBA in marketing, Bachelor of Business Administration in marketing, or you may also acquire more knowledge, that is MBA in marketing. or you may acquire post graduation MBA in marketing, because different jobs have different qualifications. Some jobs in marketing may be mentioning that this person or the employee applying for the job should have BBA degree in marketing, whereas some other employers may be asking for MBA degree in marketing. So, if a person is not satisfied, there are certain persons who are not satisfied with their current job. There may be many reasons. We as an individual, when we are in younger age or when we are student, we often think that to have good salary is sufficient so that we can lead a very happy and prosperous life. It is not that. Even if we get good amount of money in the form of salary, it is it may be possible that we may not be satisfied with our job, because there may not be work life balance. That is, our job stress may be very high, and the job which we have chosen for our, which job we are doing, is not according to our personal values, is not does not align with our skills and abilities. We are feeling overburdened. So in that case, even if we are doing a job, we would like to make a career change. That is, we would like to leave this job and join some other organization, or leave the present industry and join the new industry, new field, which is altogether different. So if we are not satisfied with the current job and want to change the career counselor may also help you in that aspect also. Then, on the basis of various assessment tests, interviews and discussions, the career counselor will come to know which organization or in which field you want to go. When you tell the career counselor that, if suppose you are working in the same marketing field and now you are having some health problems, you cannot travel much, then you will likely want to shift to some other field. Suppose from marketing you want to shift to some administration side job, but the person, organization in which you are working, you are not satisfied with the working environment or the workload. The employees may be less, the workload may be more on the employees. So you may want to shift to some organization, other organization in the administration side. So the career counselor, on the basis of various tests, will assess your current skills, would also get knowledge from you about your academic qualification, and on the basis of that he will devise a educational plan, or will tell you about the skills or knowledge which you must have, so that you can fit into the new role. Now the topic before us is discussing college vocational training or certification options. We have already learnt the meaning of career counseling, that it is a systematic process in which the career counselor helps us to understand our own self. In the normal life, what happens? We know more about others. We know less about our own self. We are not aware of our own abilities, own skills, own strengths, and own weaknesses. So the career counselor helps us in knowing our own skills, abilities, passions, values, etc. The career counselor also helps us in exploring various career options so that we can make an informed decision with regard to our career goal. Informed decision means proper decision which is based on relevant information after due consideration of all the relevant facts. We have already learnt that there are many key components of career counseling, that is self-assessment, career exploration, goal setting, resume preparation, interview tips, decision making, and education planning. So education planning is also one of the key components of career counseling. The career counselor, when discusses with us or interviews conducts the interview of ours and does the assessment test, he comes to know our skills, strengths, and weaknesses, and he explores the various career options which may fit into our education or our skills. He may also guide us regarding the education or the skills which we should get to achieve our career goal. The career counselor helps us in setting our goals, long-term goals and short-term goals. Suppose the career counselor has opined or guided us, or we have arrived at the conclusion by sitting with the career counselor that we would want to become, say, a marketing manager in some multinational company. It is our career goal. That is, we want to become marketing manager in our career when we become young. So, what will the career counselor do? He will take into account our present education, our present skills, our strengths and weaknesses, and then he will inform us that what is the educational requirement for becoming a marketing manager. He may inform us that normally to get a job in an MNC, we will have to pass or acquire a degree in as MBA, Master in Business Administration in Marketing. Normally the MNC may ask this educational requirement for the job of a marketing manager. So when we come to know that we will have to pass MBA marketing, then the career counselor rules further. He may inform us that to have this qualification MBA marketing, there are various options before us. There may be many colleges or many universities from where you can get this degree, MBA marketing. There may be many. They will inform us about the various colleges. They will provide us the list, or they will guide us how we can do the research about the various colleges or universities which are providing the relevant degree. They will also inform us about the vocational schools. They are quite different from the traditional colleges because They provide on the job training. They provide the skills which may be relevant, say in the case of becoming a plumber, an electrician, a welder, or a carpenter. That is, the vocational schools may be providing us on the job training or providing the skills where the duration of the education or duration of the course may be from some months to 1 year, and on the completion of the course they may provide us this certificate. The career counselor may also provide us information with regard to various courses where we can which various courses which are provided by the vocational schools. It may be possible that someone is interested as a career in as HVAC technician, where H stands for heating, V stands for ventilation, AC stands for air conditioning. These are separate terms. That is, some person may be desiring to become heating technician, some ventilation technician, or AC technician. So when you are interested to become a HVAC technician, the career counselor may guide you that you would have to join a vocational educational institution. They will provide us what are those vocational educational institutions which may be providing the relevant on the job training. They will also inform us that you will have, for the person who wants to become HVAC technician, he will have to acquire mandatory certifications from the appropriate authority. The career counselor will also guide that it is not, it should not be construed that after acquiring the certificate from the vocational school, you will become fully skilled to do the job. You should gain personal experience through internship or apprenticeship. So as a whole, we may conclude that the career counselor informs the client about the various colleges, various universities, or vocational training institutes which may be providing the relevant education or training which may be required for you if you want to achieve your educational goal or career goal which you have decided for yourself. Now the topic before us is financial implications within the context of educational planning. We have already learned that career counselors guide and support us when we are to take a decision with regard to our career. They help us in identifying our own self. They help us in career exploration. They help us in goal setting. The career counselors also help us in educational planning. They inform us about the educational requirements of our chosen career. That is, if we want to become, say, an engineer, they will tell us what education is required to become an engineer. It may be BTech or any other. The career counselor will also tell us what are those institutions, which are those colleges or universities which are providing the relevant education qualification which we want to acquire. The career counselors will also guide us in respect of the trainings which may be required if we want to achieve our career goal. When the career counselors are guiding us with regard to the various courses, various institutions providing those courses, the career counselors also guide us with regard to the financial implications of the education. It means that education is also comes with cost. We have to spend something to acquire education. If we want to say become an engineer, we will have to spend on getting admission. We will have to spend on the textbooks. If we get admission offline in your university, it may be quite possible that the university is at some distance, say 500 kilometers away. Then we will have to stay there in the city or in the university campus. We will have to bear the expenses of residing and eating there. The continuous online education expenses will also be there because we will have to purchase study material from time to time. We will have to incur expenses towards the extra classes or the tuition works which we will have to go in addition to the university classes. So the career counselor will guide you in respect of the costs which you may have to incur if you want to acquire a particular qualification or education. So now we will read what is written. Financial implications are an important consideration in education planning and career counseling. When we are taking the decision with regard to our career, we must take into account the cost of education. The cost of education may differ from individual to individual, and it will also differ on the basis of type of institution. It means that the institution which may be providing the education may be private. If it is a private, the expenses are likely to be more. If it is a government owned institution, it is a government college or government university, the expenses will naturally be less. Next is the cost of education also depends on type of degree, course or training. If you are getting admission for say vocational training where duration is only few months to 1 year, in many cases it may be government owned vocational school where the expenses are very less because you will be getting the skills to become say a carpenter, an electrician or a plumber or HVAC technician or something like that job, other work, where you get the experience or the education in respect of acquiring certain skills. So the expenses will be very less. Cost of education will be less. But if you are going for say acquiring a education, such a degree such as MBA in marketing, the expenses will be likely much more. But if you want to acquire some special education or special degrees, say if you want to become, say, a doctor, then the expenses may range in India. If you get admission in government institution, the expenses may range from, say, I am saying only approximately, it may vary, say 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs. But if you get admission for a MBA BS degree in, say, some private institution, then the expenses may range from 50 lakhs or above. So the cost of education depends on the type of degree or the education or the course or training which you want to have. The cost of education also depends on the location. If the college is located in some remote area, it may be quite possible that the college authorities may be giving education at less rate. But if the institution is located at a prime location in, say, metro city or in a big city, the cost of education is likely to be on the very much on the higher side. The private institutions, if they are from a reputed group, they may be having good staff, good buildings, good infrastructure, they will be charging much more. So the cost of education depends upon various factors. The career counselors also help the clients to compare the costs of different options. That is, if you study in this college, the expenses is likely to be this one. If you decide to study in this college, the expenses will be this one. They will help you in comparing the cost of getting the same degree or the same course, but the institutions are different. They will help you in comparing the cost so that you can make appropriate decision on the basis of your own resources. It may be possible that you are from a very rich family and your parents will have no difficulty to spend much amount or to spend a large amount of money on your education. But if you are from a middle class family or from a poor family, then it may not be possible for your parents to spend much on your education. Then this point of of financial implications of the education is more relevant. The career counselor also provide you knowledge in respect of another important aspect, and that is return on investment. The return on investment is normally used in the financial world where an investment is made. When we are pursuing some study, we are also making an investment for future. That is, we will think the expenses which we are spending on our education as an investment, and the career counselor will tell us what salary or what monetary benefits you are likely to get in future when you complete the degree and get a job. That is, say, they may tell you that if you become a doctor and if you land in a government job, that is, you become a government doctor, then you may get the salary, say, in India, say rupees 80,000 rupees. But if you get job in a normal hospital, private hospital, you may get salary of rupees, say, rupees 40 to 50,000. But if you become specialist, say become MD or MS, and get job in some reputed hospital at a national level, then you may earn in lakhs. So they will tell you about the return on investment. Suppose if you think that the career counselor tells you that you can become a doctor by getting admission in a private college because you are unable to get admission in government medical college, then you had no option but to get admission in private medical college, and that private medical college is likely to charge say rupees 50 lakhs for the whole period of the education. It is just for an example. And if you think that this is likely to be the investment or the likely expenses which will be incurred by you during the whole period of course of getting the MBBS degree, then if you think that you are likely to get say rupees 40,000 per month as salary if you get admission in a private college, private hospital, normally it is the monthly remuneration, it is the normal range, then you will, this is the investment, this is the return, then you will have to think whether it is justified, whether I should spend 50 lakhs in the current date. If you are having enough resources because your parents are in a position to spend the same, then you may think that at least I will have the degree of doctor before my name, then you may do so. So the career counselors provide insight into the possible return on investment of different educational choices so that the clients make informed decisions that align with their financial circumstances. They may also guide you that you may have different career options. That is, you may opt for becoming an engineer. You may also opt for becoming a say pilot. You may also opt for becoming some marketing manager. They will tell you the financial implications of each of these careers if you are interested to become so. They will tell you this is the amount which is likely to be spent if you want to become an engineer. In this college, this will be the cost. In this college, this will be the cost. If you become to become a pilot, this will be the cost if you study in this training institute, and this will be the expenses if you study in this institute. So on the basis of your career goal and keeping in view your financial resources, you can decide appropriately, that is where you should go. The career counselor also tells his client about the various scholarships, grants and loans that he may get, and that can help the client pay for your education and training. That is, these scholarships, grants and loans can help you in paying for your education and training. Ultimately, if it is a loan, you will have to repay the same. Please keep this in mind. A few suggestions that they make, that is, the career counselor may give you some suggestions, that is, you may enroll in an inexpensive community college. That is, if you are from a middle class family or a poor family and your parents cannot afford to pay for the higher education costs, then they may tell you that to achieve your career goal, you may also get education by getting admission in some inexpensive community college, or you can simultaneously do part-time job while pursuing a degree so that you can manage the expenses of education. Now we will try to understand the same with the help of an example. There is a person named Emily. He wants to pursue his career in graphic designing. She's interested, she's having passion that she should opt for graphic designing. She wants to get admission in prestigious art school so that she may become a good graphic designer. But at the same time, she is from a middle class or poor class family. She cannot afford the high tuition fees of prestigious art school. You must understand that the prestigious art schools or the private institutions will normally charge the higher tuition fees. The cost of education in private or prestigious schools is on the very high side. Mostly they are located in urban cities. They provide excellent infrastructure facilities, good libraries, good buildings, and they may be having experienced faculty members. So naturally, the expenses of studying in private reputed institutions is likely to be on the higher side. Career counselor does financial assessment of Emily. It means that he discusses the financial status of Emily with her. That is, what are your parents doing, whether they are working, whether they are doing job, whether they are you are having some family business, what is the monthly income of your parents, or what is the salary of your parents, what is your family status. So the career counselor gets the knowledge about the financial status of Emily's family, and he also tries to assess what amount the Emily's parents can contribute towards her education. The career counselor also tells Emily about different art schools, community colleges, or traditional universities that offer graphic design programs. Though Emily is interested to study in some private prestigious art school, the career counselor also informs him about the various other options from where he can get the required education. That is, there may be some other, he tells her about other traditional universities, community colleges, or other art colleges, art schools that may be also providing the graphic designing program. The career counselor also discusses with Emily tuition fees, living expenses, and other costs associated with each educational institution. That is, the career counselor discusses with him that if he discusses in community college, the tuition fees will be this, living expenses will be this, and other expenses may be this. If he studies in a traditional university, this will be the tuition fees, this will be the living expenses, this will be the other expenses. That is, he discusses the cost aspect in respect of each educational institution which provides the graphic designing program. And he also informs, that is, the counselor also informs Emily about the option of online course where the cost of education is likely to be on the lower side. Now the career counselor also informs Emily about the various institutions that offer scholarships or other financial aid options. The career counselor also discusses with Emily return on investment. That is, if you study in this college, this will be the expenses, that this is will be the investment, and this will be the return. That is, he will discuss the potential return on investment in respect of each education choice. That is, if he studies in this college, this may be the return. So by researching different educational options and its financial implications, that is, if you study in this college, this will be the financial implication, this will be the cost, this will be the benefit, and after doing all the research or imparting the necessary information to Emily, now the Emily can take an informed decision regarding the educational institution that fits her financial situation and allows her to achieve her career goal. That it is the Emily which has to take the decision finally with regard to her educational institution or the course which he wants to study. Where he wants to study, it is the final decision of the client from where he wants to study. The career counselor only, the role of the career counselor is only to provide him the relevant information. What are the various career options, from where he can study, what type of educational information, educational requirement is there for achieving the career goal. The ultimate decision, that is the client has to take decision on the basis of various factors which has been communicated by the career counselor. Career counselor continues to work with clients over time to monitor the progress in achieving educational and career goal. It is not that he has guided his client about the various institutions and now the role of career counselor is over. The career counselor continues to monitor the progress of the client towards the educational and career goal. The career counselor provides guidance to his client to make necessary adjustment to the educational plans as needed. It may happen that with the passage of time, some adjustments may have to be made in the educational plan. So the career counselor monitors the education planning, the progress of the client from time to time. Educational plans are not static. Education plans can change as individuals gain new experience and insights. It may be possible that with the passage of time, the goals of the client may change. It may be also possible that life circumstances of the client may change. Life circumstances of the student may change. Financial situations of the family of the student may change. There may be some health problem in the family of the student. There may be some health issues of the client, that is the student. So all this may necessitate that there may be some change or modification in the education plan to accommodate new realities. That in view of the new realities, some modifications may have to be made, and the career counselor helps the client in modification of the educational plan if the circumstances so what. Overall, the career counselor plays a very vital role in helping the client to develop education plans that not only support their career goals, that is, if he wants to become, say, an engineer, he will develop the plan, education plan, that he achieves his career goal and becomes an engineer. But the career counselor also takes into account what is the financial position of the client. Irrespective of the career goal, career counselor helps you develop an educational plan to achieve them so that you are satisfied with your career in future. Now the topic before us is career counseling, bridging skill gaps and encouraging lifelong learning. We have already learnt that to take a decision with regard to our career is a very difficult one. We oftenly take decision with regard to our career on the basis of what our parents say, what our friends are doing. So normally we take the decision with regard to our career on the basis of incomplete information or under societal pressure. Many times we are uncertain about our career goals. Sometimes we are not satisfied with our current job and we want to change the career. In some cases, it may be possible that we are currently doing job, but we are not getting promotion. It may be so possible that we were doing job and we have been laid off, but we are unable to get the job in spite of the fact that we have sent our resume and appeared in the interview before many employers, but of no avail. So in all these cases where we are to make a final decision with regard to our career, or we are searching for a job, or we want to make progression in our career, we can seek the help of career counselor. The career counselor will use various assessment tests, skill assessment tests, interviews, discussions, and he will get to know about your skills, aptitudes, personal values, strengths and weaknesses. It is always there that we know most about others. We know what are the strengths of the other person, what are the weaknesses of the other person, but we know less about our own selves. So the career counselor helps the client to understand one's self. That is, they help in self-assessment. They also help in career exploration. That is, they help in researching the various career options. They also help in goal setting. What should be our long-term goal? What should be our short-term goal? They help in setting the goals. They also help us in education planning. That what is they will inform us, or they will guide us what is the educational requirement for our particular career goal, from where or from which institution, college or university or other vocational school we can get the education or the relevant skills. So another point is that the career counselor also help us in bridging skill gaps and encouraging lifelong learning. It is not that we have all these skills which make us in a position to get any job. There may be certain areas where we need some improvement. There may be certain areas where we need some improvement, or there may be certain areas where we not be having the skills. So they will help us in finding the skill gaps, and they will guide us with respect to the ways or the techniques which should be adopted by us so that we can achieve our career goal. The career counselor will also guide us with regard to the importance of lifelong learning. In this competitive world, it is not that we have passed academic qualification, we have get the relevant academic qualification, and we will now succeed in our career. Suppose we have become an engineer, we have landed into a job. It is not that if you attain a particular position, then you will not have to study or learn in future. Thus, technology is changing very fast. Working environments are changing, job market is changing, everything is changing. So you will have to update your learning in various aspects with regard to technology as well as in respect of the field where you are working, so that you can do your job smoothly and your career progression is smooth. So now we will start skill development. The career counselor not only helps in self-assessment, career exploration, goal setting, education planning, but they also help in skill development. How they help? They help in skill development by identifying gaps in skills and competencies. What are the gaps? They recommend training programs or skill building activities. They emphasize the importance of lifelong learning. They also monitor progress which we are making towards skill development, and they also make adjustments in the plan if circumstances so require. They also help in building confidence when we are taking the steps towards the skill development. Now we will discuss each of these points one by one. Identifying gaps in skills and competencies. Career counselors use various tools such as they may use assessment tests, they may conduct interview with you, they may hold discussion with you across the table. So by doing so, sorry, they will get to know about your current skills and competencies. They may also use questionnaires. By doing all this, they will come to know about your current skills and current competencies. And by doing so, they will get to know about the skill gaps which need to be filled so that you can achieve your career goal. What is the meaning of skill and competencies? Skill and competencies means both technical competencies and soft skills such as teamwork, communication skills, problem solving skills. For acquiring the desired career goal, we may be required to have certain skills that if we want to become a marketing manager, then we must have teamwork abilities, we must have leadership abilities, we should have good communication abilities, communication skills, and problem solving abilities. When we are a manager, there may be many problems arise in the working environment. We should have the problem solving skills. So if we are lacking or if we are having deficient in any of these skills, they will provide us the guidance. Next is recommending training programs or skill building activities. Once the career counselor has identified gaps in your skills and competencies, the career counselor will recommend suitable training programs or skill building activities so that you can fill those gaps. The career counselor recommend the training program or skill building activities on the basis of your specific career goals. What is your budget and what is the time constraint, in which time you want to achieve your career goal. So keeping you these factors, they will recommend tailor made recommendations with regard to the training programs or skill building activities. Where should you should go the training program, what type of training program should be there, and how you can build your skills. The suggestions which may be given by the career counselor to you to fill the skill gaps and competencies may include attending workshops, seminars, obtaining certifications, enrolling in courses, and participating in internships and volunteering opportunities. If you work as an intern in an organization, you can acquire new skills, you can gain experience, and by enrolling in new course in the relevant field, you can acquire new skills. Now we will try to understand this concept with the help of an example. John is a software developer, but he is unable to progress in his career. He seeks the help of a career counselor. The career counselor conducts interview, has discussion with him, does the skill assessment test, and does the self-assessment test of the John. So the career counselor, after doing all this, discovers that John lacks experience in specific coding language. That is, this is the area where he needs improvement. In the specific coding language, he needs improvement. Now the career counselor suggests various strategies to John so that he may improve in this area. He suggests that he may join online courses, or he may join coding boot camps. He may go to workshops that focus on coding language. The career counselor may also advise that he should seek mentorship from experienced developers. By doing such like steps, John can improve his skills in the field of specific coding language. By addressing gaps in the skill set, that is, after having identified the skill gaps, you should take the necessary steps to fill those skill gaps, and after that you will be in a position to achieve the career goal, and you can make progress in your career. Now the next step is emphasizing the importance of lifelong learning. In this competitive world, it is not that you acquire the relevant qualification, land into a job, and now you can sleep with rest. Job market is changing very fast. Technology is changing. The demands on each and every job, that is the job responsibilities, are also changing with the passage of time. Competition is increasing in each and every field, in each and every industry. So when we are doing certain job, we will have to continuously update our knowledge, our experience. We will have to continuously update with regard to the various technologies which have entered into our relevant field. That is, if we take the example 30 years ago, there were very less computers in India. Then we should not have expected from a branch in charge to have the knowledge of computer. But these days, can you expect a branch in charge not having a computer? Because now each and every work is done on computer. Emails come on computer. All the statistics are there on computer. So we will have to continuously learn the new technologies, new skills, as may be demanded by the circumstances with the passage of time. So lifelong learning is very necessary in each and every field. We have to be continuously update up our skills and adapt to new technology and work practices. The career counselor emphasizes the importance of lifelong learning. We should have to change our mindset. We should develop the mindset of continuous learning and growth, that we are to continuously go on learning new things in life. Only then we can succeed in our life. Lifelong learning is the process of continually acquiring new skills and knowledge throughout one's life. Now we will try to understand the same with the help of an example. Meet Lisa. She is 42-year-old old marketing professional. Lot of changes are taking place in her industry. Especially there is rise of digital marketing and data analytics. Now she goes to a career counselor, where the career counselor advises him that she should understand the importance of lifelong learning. The career counselor advises her that she should stay up to date with regard to the changes which are taking place in her industry. Only then she can find job satisfaction, and only then she can succeed in her life. Otherwise, if she is working on salary, it may be possible that the employer may kick her out if she does not acquire new skills and does not have the knowledge of new technology with the passage of time. The career counselor advises her to enroll in online courses, attend webinars, and learn digital marketing and data analytics, because the marketing field is changing very fast. So she should have the knowledge of various types of happenings which are taking place in her relevant field. She should attend industry conferences. She should connect with mentors and took on leadership roles in her company. As a result of her commitment to lifelong learning, she acts on the advice of the career counselor. Now she is continuously acquiring new skills and adapting herself to new technology. So now Lisa has become an invaluable asset to the company. Now she is also getting promotion from time to time, and she is having job satisfaction. Now next is monitoring progress and adjustment plans. It is not that the career counselors just provide recommendations with regard to skill gaps and how the client can fill these skill gaps. Their role does not end there. The role of the career counselor also goes beyond that. The career counselor also monitors an individual's progress in skill development. The career counselor offers guidance and support. He tracks the achievements and helps the individuals to make adjustments in the planning if necessary. If any strategy or resources are not giving the desired results, the counselor can suggest alternative approaches to skill development. Next is building confidence. If we are taking steps to acquire new skills, it is not easy. It can be challenging to acquire new skills. The career counselors play a big role in boosting an individual's confidence. They provide encouragement and positive feedback. They help the individuals believe in their ability to acquire new skills and competencies. That is, they go on motivating their client that you have the ability, you can do, you should continuously go on acquiring new skills and competencies. This psychological support on the part of the career counselors is very important for the clients because it helps the clients in overcoming the challenges and staying motivated during the skill development process. Overall, career counselors play a very vital role in helping the clients identify what are their present skills, what are the skill gaps, and what steps should be taken to fill those skill gaps so that the client may achieve his career goal. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course.